Next up, you've got some myriad ramblings, I am told.
Yes.
And I think because we have just done a non-World of Warcraft story, let's kick it off with boosting, because that seems like a slightly insane situation.
Okay, can I go get one beverage real quick?
Yep, there are Pepsi Maxes in the upstairs fridge. 2 of them.
Fantastic, thank you very much.
There we go. See, I've cut down travel time.
Yep.
Bam.
This boosting topic's going to be big, so...
Yeah, Matt's been, there's just been some thinking and stuff going on regarding boosting, maybe some new info or something that Matt's came across. Honestly, I only found out about it like just before the stream. I have no idea what he's going to say, but it did seem rather big, so that'll be interesting to cover. And here he is. The man is back. He's got a Pepsi Max Lime. Of course, lime, you know, doubling down on the citrusy notes that do make Pepsi Max superior to Coke Zero.
Yeah. Even the new Coke Zero.
I've not tried the new Coke Zero.
It's not very different, to be honest. It's not very different, and also Pepsi Max Lime is second only to Pepsi Max Cherry, but...
Whoa.
Well, yeah.
I'd have to hit you with a big disagree. I mean, I like cherry, but...
Fair.
But this is why people are really here.
Yep. It's the Pepsi Max channel. But yeah, boosting in World of Warcraft. Because I recently heard from someone that the PvP boosting community is in a very, very bad place.
PvP?
Yeah.
Okay.
And this is what I actually have heard about. But, you know, I imagine this extends to PvPvE as well. But it's really, really... I'm trying to say this without incriminating anyone. But it seems like there's a lot of people making a lot of money off RMT and PvP boosting. And no one talks about it publicly because they're all making too much money from it.
Right.
And if you try to speak out about it in that scene, you'll get, you know, you'll get wrecked for it. And that's like, that's one part of the problem, but I kind of want to bring it back around to how boosting impacts World of Warcraft overall. Because what I have heard is that PvP people are making, you know, substantial amounts of money. And that's, you know, if people can make money from something and Blizzard aren't doing anything about it, that's kind of Blizzard's problem. But the problem is that it impacts the community in a way. Which is, why would you PvP when you can boost? Especially with the existing problems in PvP. Where you've got all of the issues with the, you know, people racking their own rating to make it unplayable for other people. And then you've got, you know, you've got the entire bracket of gladiators just hopping back down to make real world money off their skill. In a way that's not like, it's not in a way you're making money by being a professional.
Mm-hmm.
You're making money through WoW token. Because that's where people are getting their gold from. And then you've got this whole system that Blizzard support via WoW token.
Yeah.
Of all this money being funneled through. And then, you know, obviously you can't turn gold back into money, but you can. So you just sort of can.
That is the interesting thing.
Yeah.
It does make WoW pay to win in a way token.
It is. That is the problem. World of Warcraft is pay to win because of the World of Warcraft token.
I just think maybe it is a situation where not enough people do that in a public and obvious way. And it's not pay to win in like, I've just bought the best gear. It is buying access to the content that gives you the best gear. But it does mean that if somebody really has a lot of money, they can absolutely burn through that. And it's interesting when it gets into RMT though. Like, do you have any numbers? Like how much money are people making from this RMT stuff?
I don't want to say the number publicly because it might
be incriminating.
Some sort of communication, but it's so how do I say this in the way you would know? Probably double one channel's revenue a month for one person from full-time PvP boosting.
Wow. So basically what this means is if we got everyone at the company to be a gladiator tier PvPer.
Mm-hmm.
And all we cared about was making the dollary do. We just quit all the channels and we'd be like 8 PvP boosters.
Yeah.
Holy shit, dude. That's a lot of money.
It seems to be an insane
PvP
amount of
boosting?
money. This is the PvP side of things. And that's only like a couple of data points. So it could be very different. That could be the top. That could be the bottom.
Yeah.
Hard to know. But there is a huge problem with that. Because it completely destroys the integrity of the PvP scene for anyone who's involved. And it's the kind of thing where it's sort of sneaky. It's sort of quiet. You don't see it. But then you will see it if you are, if you are 16, 1700. And then you're trying to queue in. But then item level gets involved. And then you've got people who do have the gear from up there that are now one-shotting you because that's how the game's balance actually works. And boosting is like, there's ways to solve that problem around without boosting, but it is absolutely brutal. And one of the other problems is that Blizzard aren't doing anything about it, despite the fact they know. I'm pretty sure Blizzard employees know specifically about the RMT side of things, but they haven't done anything about it for whatever reason that may be. I'll leave that up to your imagination. I mean, I'm sure there's any number of reasons. There's anywhere from don't care to cronyism.
Chris Baker saying, wait, how do they turn gold back into real money? Well, it's that some people don't do it with gold.
Yeah. There's one that's pretty bad, and it's you'll actually, I mean, they don't even hide it, but you'll see it in PvP streamers. They'll play with subs, which is an implicit boost.
Oh yeah.
They'll play so many games with a sub. So someone goes, oh, here's, to be fair, that's only 250 or whatever else. But if that's a game or two, or then, bits or something like that. Or if you get subs and play with more.
If playing with subs is okay in my head, where that gets bad is if a streamer was to say, I don't know, I legit don't, I don't even know how many bits is a penny. So maybe 10,000 bits is a lot of bits, or maybe not that many bits. I have no idea. Yeah. But like, if a streamer said, "Yeah, give 3 or I don't know, give 40 gifted subs," or because just being sub to a channel is just like more of a, it's just like it's a one thing. It's an ongoing support. It's not that transactional.
Yeah.
But if you make that transactional, like, oh yeah, gift X amount of subs, gift 3,000 bits, and you can join me for 5 games. I mean, then that sort of, it's like, it is in a way, it's paying for access to somebody that you watch, but then it is also paying for that person's skills as a booster. But I do imagine that the vast majority of this is going on, or I don't know, maybe it is going on more whenever it's just like on the DL, there's a Discord server and, it's all hushed and quiet and we're like, okay, well, we've match made you and you, so go into the DMs and work out the money. Maybe it works out like that.
Yeah, I'm not completely sure yet. I've not finished any sort of investigations. I do want to do a big look into like the PvE side of things as well, which is, I've heard some things there, but nothing quite as bad.
Gotcha.
Not to say that it doesn't exist there, but it's more the fact that RMT, as well as the WoW token in combination, means that there is such a severe problem in World of Warcraft that I actually don't know what to call it. Man, I don't even know where to begin talking about the implications, because it's so subtle and it's happened over such a period of time with the inflation of golds in Worlds of Draenor and then the boosts. It's just a case of people buy boosts with gold. That obscures, that confirms boosting is a real thing that's okay.
Yeah.
And then Blizzard are profiting from it, so they're less likely to, take any impact, which means it obscures all the RMT going on.
Yeah.
And that's the thing, right? You see everything been advertised in LFD, LFG all the time. You hear the problems that PvPers are having. It's insane amount of money. Like, actually, there's GP Trismo saying it's like 8 tokens for 1,800 or 14 tokens for 2,100. That's what people are paying. They're paying people are giving 14 WoW tokens of gold for 2,100 rating.
So then, right, so if the person's selling, that means that they get 21 WoW tokens for taking somebody to that rating.
Well, they'll get that amount of gold.
That amount of gold.
Yeah.
Now, they then can't cash any of this out. So that's just paying for a service, but that you can use token to get that gold.
And then action isn't taken against people who RMT with gold, seemingly.
Okay.
That's it. It seems to be the problem where it's like, there's all these ways you can go, well, that's acceptable. That's fine. That's fine. And that obscures everything that's happening underneath it instead of bringing it into the light. Where
and then, yeah. No, but then what that really does, though, is because whenever that person is at a bad rating, when they're new, and we've maybe seen this, let's just say, you know, now look, I'm not that good at PvP.
Yep.
I don't want to be mean, but, you know, you're probably not also that good at PvP. We're both not that good at PvP.
Yeah.
But there's been times where we've wanted to get into PvP. So, you know, we're going in there, you know, we're climbing, you know, we're pushing rating. And then as soon as we hit like 1200 or, you know, near there, it's like, oh, suddenly it gets harder. And it should, because we should be forced to get better. But then there's times we get a bunch of matches where we would just see one fucking god.
Yeah.
You know, we'd see one player who, you know, you can take out easy. And then this absolute golden god who could probably solo both of us somehow. And, you know, we're not good enough at PvP to understand how they do that, but, you know, clearly a boost. And you can see that. You can see when it's clearly a boost. And that just means that, you know, it's not like it's a problem happening in its own corner, like maybe it would be for somebody who's boosting, you know, Sanctum of Domination, where it's like, okay, somebody got some gear they didn't deserve, but, you know, it's not PvP, nobody notices. But then in PvP, obviously, if you could say that there would be a lot of people who maybe would be more happy to get into PvP if this didn't exist. It certainly has been that thing where I am way more interested in RBGs. I mean, I haven't done any of them because we haven't really got it going with the guild. I would like that to happen someday, but whatever. I mean, for fun, I'd rather just do a BG.
Yeah. But there's
It's interesting.
Oh man, there's so many other things. I'm gonna see if I can see there's.
See, that's fun because you're privy to all this info, but like in a way where we can't exactly just share it all.
Yeah.
Other than a wink, wink, nudge, nudge. This has been heard from people who know.
Yeah. It's also like Blizzard employees are overtly aware.
Okay.
Like they
so that
like,
confirm.
Yeah, they literally know. They literally know this, but they don't do anything about it because the token means that the gold funnel is really weird. I'd love to draw a diagram really quick where how the gold funnel actually goes, but like it's the case that you can Google and just find boosting communities that are selling, you know, Mythic plus 10. What is it? How much is it? It's like 100 and something euro for your guild, your Great Vault full of Mythic plus 10s. I can't remember if that's self-play or not, but that's even an option. Sort of shows what the crack is there.
Yeah.
But it's a case where I feel like I'll need to collect a lot more information before I can do anything as much as, you know, make a video on it or anything like that there. But it's just I feel like the community's not quite realized that so much of what's wrong with the pugging community is the idea of boosts and how much players are boosting because you can just pay for shit. And it's endemic because all of the mythic raiders are doing it. And no one finds it a problem because it's all in gold. But then it's the people at the top who are RMTing that gold and getting the profit. Because, I mean, Scripe admitted to buying a bunch of gold from Gallywix and nothing happened there.
Yes. So Gallywix was basically, it was like the big cabal of boosters, but they had set up like matchmaking systems and like bots and stuff. So it was a fucking, I mean, it's the sort of thing I obviously have to officially be like, oh, we're down with that sort of thing. This is terrible.
Yeah.
But there's also that little bit of me that's like,
yeah,
that's a fucking credit to you. You've hustled that one pretty damn well. You know, there's that bit where you can kind of respect the hustle, even though it's certainly the sort of thing you go back. I mean, don't do that, but good hustle.
You respect the execution, not the idea.
Yeah. It was like a pretty advanced and sophisticated way of managing all of that boosting.
Yeah.
But they got busted. Gallywix got busted, and yes, Scripe. So that Scripe admitted to RMT then?
Oh yeah, there's literally a tweet from. Was it around the Eternal Palaces? I can't remember.
And Scripe is the raid leader of Echo, who, of course, just got world first.
Yeah, literally said that. Oh, there's Dakor just hit us with stuff on the fly.
Oh, but what have you done, Mr. Dakor?
2v2, it costs 900,000 gold to get from 0 to 1400. Costs 4 million to get to 2100.
4 million?
Yeah, it costs a lot.
But what does it cost in dollars? in dollars that you are sending to someone's PayPal account,
Yeah.
not via WoW token. That's what I'd really want to know. So does anyone know how much that costs in, I don't mean from, just Googling a random boosting site and finding a number. Like, what do people actually pay when RMT does happen? I wonder. Someone said there, wow, GJ Echo. Everyone, from what I understand, like, Scripe said that in a way where it's like, I mean, yeah, come on, everyone had done this.
Yeah.
Like, I wouldn't be surprised if, I guess Scripe was Method at the time. But, I wouldn't be surprised if, like, I don't want to say any names because it would be improper.
Yeah.
Just be like, oh, yes, Limit totally do it as well because they all do it. Well, but I don't literally know.
Well, Limit it's hard to say if this connects them to RMTing, but they are literally sponsored by Hokan Boosting.
What?
Like, there's a boosting service they're officially sponsored
What's
by.
it called?
Huokan. Hokan. I'm not very good at my Chinese pronunciation.
So it's a boosting community, it says, if I go to their website.
And also, before we go there, there's when I was asked to pay real money, it was €250 for 2400 last season. That's someone else in chat. There's
Wait.
There's someone else. I can admit that I sold 1 million gold for $40 in a certain EU realm. Streamers get boosting for free, yeah.
Wait, what's that again?
Well, it's $1 million. $1 million for 40 gold. 1 million gold for $40.
Fuck, man, that is a lot cheaper than token. You can see why people would do it. It's very funny. As I go to Hukan here, everything is just like a gold-only community.
Yeah.
Warning, services are very strictly World of Warcraft gold only.
Yeah.
So, I mean, let's say I want to go, Mythic rating. Let's just say all of those haters that we've got who say that, I just purchased Curve Boost.
Yeah.
Okay, 24 million for me to get 10 out of 10 Mythic. That's a wee bit much. Interesting.
Yeah, let's see. Is there anything else from Dakar?
But then there's been maybe people saying that there isn't RMT going on via this community, but perhaps is it a case where people would say that this community is somewhere where RMT could be adjacent to it because you have a bunch of boosters in the same place? Maybe is that what people would say?
So that's what I think the real danger is, and this is why I want to bring WoW token into the discussion. Because it's so obvious, and I've been saying it since it happened. I've been laughing at how intelligent it is for Blizzard on the money-making perspective. Because they're just going, okay, well, we'll just get extra money from subs. Everyone who's a gold farmer in this game, not a literal gold farmer, but people who have gold in this game are going to have someone else pay extra for their sub. That's how it now works. We've just upped how much money we're taking for each sub, which is incredible in the first place. But then you've got the fact that it now completely masks everything else. Because if you see someone who is utter dog shit, right? But they've got curve, and you go, well, you're a booster. They're like, yeah, WoW token. And you're like, okay, well then,
Yeah, I guess it's then that interesting thing where it's like, so let's just say, I wanted to ensure that the profit-based bonus of every employee here was awful, but I wanted to do lots of DPS. Yeah. So I just bought WoW tokens to funnel as much loot to my character as possible so that I could screenshot a good log in Heroic or something. Yep. That would be a irresponsible and mean way to run the business. But let's just say I did that, and that I actually could do that. Yeah. And, I could get... So let's just say, right, we were running through normals. And I'm in this situation where, I just want gear for my character. So I'm going to purchase a Heroic boost, and I'm going to purchase a Mythic Plus boost. So I could leverage a whole bunch of WoW token or in-game gold. Yeah. And I could get more gear on my character, which would make me do better in our guild raid. So that's something that I could do. WoW token supports that, and seemingly quite a few people do that, I guess. Yeah. I guess for a Heroic raid clear, a full clear personal loot is 3.5 mil. A full clear 2 funnels is 900,000.
Wild.
It's 2 funnels, what?
That'll be two other players designed who will funnel all drops they get to you. Well, Dakar actually added to the document with a load of, actual real RMT boosting places, and you've got prices like, let's see. You want Gladiator, €900. There you go.
Damn, that's a lot of money for Gladiator.
Yeah,
Like, that ain't worth it.
Yeah, PvP gearing bundle, €750.
Okay.
Vicious
So-
saddle boost, €137. PvP upgrade bundle, €1,000. And I think this is the problem. Like, well, there's Great Vault, Mythic Keys, raid bosses, €248.
Yeah, I'm looking here. Like, so on the Hukan base for M plus 15 is 375k. Loot funnel. So I guess like if I was a hunter, that would just mean that they bring along another hunter.
Yeah.
And that hunter funnels me the loot. 468k.
Yeah.
Key 445k. Loot and key 538. Base timed 515. Loot funnel timed 608. Loot and a timed key 888k. So that's a lot of gold. That's like 4 tokens.
Yeah.
I don't think that's worth it, but I guess that's something that people actually do.
Yeah, I mean, that's what I think the problem is. I feel like this is just sort of normal now for a lot of people.
Yeah.
Who'll admit to it? I'm not sure, but it's just so much of this is actually boosting.
So, oh man.
Why let it happen?
Here's my perspective, because I actually I find myself liking player-driven economies, and I think that, you know, in World of Warcraft there is a good sector. I'm perfectly happy and fine with there being a services sector in the World of Warcraft economy, and that, you know, you might think, oh yeah, look at you trying to apply real world. No, fuck that. Fuck that completely. This World of Warcraft is a virtual goddamn world, and it has an economy. And I am fine with there being a services sector in that economy. The problem is WoW token messes it up because it brings the IRL economy and it creates a bridge between that and the WoW economy. Now, that bridge has always existed in the form of, you know, RMT.
Yeah.
That was always very much looked down upon. And from what I understand, because, like, I had friends who bought gold, I had friends who got banned for buying gold. It was shit that Blizzard could track. But, I mean, with this, Blizzard are just thinking, cool, well, the more people funnel their IRL money into World of Warcraft, it's good for us.
Yeah.
So it's interesting. The incentives are not aligned. This is actually, it's an interesting way of Blizzard being able to make, you know, the people who do this are probably not Stormount people.
Yeah.
But my God, they're probably worth more money, because you remember, right? 1 token equals 1 month of sub. Difference is it's $5 more for Blizz. So if somebody buys 10 tokens worth of boosting, that's like buying, I mean, you know, it's like 10 months of sub, but an extra $5 for every one, of just a clear margin, man. So you can totally see how, you know, Blizzard benefits from this system too, even though it's not ideal for the players, I think. So it's that thing, if token didn't exist and it was just, you know, I want some gear in my character, I'm a really big crafter, I've done all of this stuff with the economy, I'm now going to purchase a boosting service from another set of players to get some gear for my character. In my head, if that is like gold that is earned by engaging in the game economy, that's all good and healthy, because that gold will have been earned by providing flasks, providing armor kits, you know, things that people actually use. So that's all nice, healthy part of the economy. But then it's like the second that the IRL money can get in, it just blows the whole thing up.
Yeah, and that's where I think the
It's fascinating.
Yeah, I feel like this is a problem that Blizzard is allowed to fester for a variety of reasons. And I feel like if they're to try to revitalize World of Warcraft in any magnificent sense, they really do need to show up and be like, okay, we need to tackle RMT. We need to tackle botting as well. We need to fix the economy. But at this point, I feel like there's probably a reason that they don't really go for it. They don't solve these problems immediately. And I imagine, like, I don't like to say this because it's a very big allegation, but I imagine there are people attached who are, you know, making use of it for whatever reason or the other.
Oh.
That's what I have to imagine. I don't have anything to actually say on that front, but I feel like, you know, it's the same with any black market that exists. If you imagine, you're like, well, how does this black market exist? well, it's probably corruption somewhere.
Yeah,
in the
there's
chain.
a corrupt cop somewhere.
Yeah, there's a cop being bribed somewhere in this chain. Is the logical conclusion you're likely to come to. As to whether that's true or not is impossible to say, and it's an irresponsible thing to highlight, honestly. But I feel like it should be a focus at Blizzard to look at how the in-game economy is impacting player behavior and player, how the entire system is designed and how those are interacting together to make a substantially worse experience for a huge amount of their players.
And that is some stuff.
Yep.
That is some stuff. I guess it's the sort of thing too, and I do want to be able to give some credit to the Blizzard staff who probably do think this is an issue.
Yeah.
But all I would say is, imagine being the guy at Blizzard who, is like, okay, I've identified this problem. It's totally being facilitated by WoW Token. Mm-hmm. Oh, cool. Well, good luck telling your boss to change Token because it does great for Blizzard. There's probably loads of people in the WoW team who get that this is a problem, who feel very passionately about it. I mean, imagine working in PvP. The people who work in PvP almost certainly understand the scope of this problem and are very alarmed by it. But at the same rate, it is something that I think quite obviously does drive a whole bunch of profit. So it's going to be hard for them to affect change.
Yeah.
For sure. So, there's plenty of people at Blizzard, I'd say almost everyone at Blizzard, who would come down on our side on this, but they're just not empowered to make that change.